Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have myself a drink and we're going to talk about when you get annoying advice. Before I get into that, let me remind you that for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from the company 4Ocean. 4Ocean pulls a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that now. We've all had that moment where somebody told us to do something that we've probably tried and it wasn't exactly helpful. Normally with me, it's somebody says something to me about my weight. You know, it's like, look, dude, one, I'm a big guy. I'm going to be a big guy. There's not really a lot. I mean, even if I whittled it down and I've got rock hard abs, I'd still probably be a pretty big guy. You know, I mean, I don't think I could get under 200 pounds if I wanted to. But, you know, people say, well, you should change your diet. Yeah, you should shut up because you're addressing the machine in a simple manner. You know, it's like you're talking about a 1960s Volkswagen Bug when, you know, I'm a modern day Astrovan. Okay? It's more complicated than that. With my weight, you know, what could happen is that if I could solve my stress problems, I would lose weight. I wouldn't need to change my diet. I once was losing weight. I lost 15 pounds in 8 weeks eating fast food every day. And I mean, not like I went and had the salad. I mean, I went and had a breaded chicken sandwich of some kind. Thought I heard something. And, you know, I could definitely hear one of my cats tending her kittens. She just had to do that during my video. I should check on her. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen, but just washed my hands and I didn't dry them properly. But yes, that was going to get loud and disgusting, and I'm glad I caught it before it permanently destroyed my carpet. Still gonna need to shampoo in there. Anyway, the reason I'm making this video, what came up is I made a video where I talked about how I got bad news about money. And you know, my problem is that the house I live in is partially owned by other people. I don't own 100% of it. So, you know, and they have promised me that I will never get my money out. Well, they promised me at one point that I would never get my money out of it, and now they're going, well, I mean, you know, we'll sell the house and you can have your third, but you can't have the money that we owe you. So it's one of those things. I live life feeling like I have a gun to my head. I can't really invest in my own property because I don't know what's going to happen with it. And, you know, it's one of those things, is that I'm very depressed because of it. And somebody on one of my videos just said, contact so-and-so. And they left this person's name. And I looked them up, and they're some kind of a debt guru, famous debt guru, I think. And, you know, I didn't pay much attention to it because, one, I don't think that person would even talk to me, because that's how famous people work. Like, yeah, you know who could solve my problems? Phil DeFranco. Phil, tweet one video. That's all you got to do. would change my life. I would instantly be making enough money, probably on all of my videos, to be a full-time YouTuber, making 4 times what I was making as a security officer, and really doing well in life. But Philip DeFranco, if I sent him an email, he would probably not even respond. It's not even likely he'd read it, because I bet you 100 people are going to ask him for that today. And why should he do me a favor? Okay? So, and I could also say that any number of famous people, Michael Keaton, could tweet one of my videos. But again, I don't know Michael Keaton. I don't even have his email address. So I guess I could find a way to send him messages, or send him messages on X or whatever. But again, why would he care? Why? What would be the point? That's one of those things you have to be aware of, is the fact that these people have no reason to help me. And then this one guy, I don't have a debt problem. I have an income problem. All right? I'm not in debt. I'm not even close to in debt, that's not my problem. I'm not this guy that spends beyond his means. I'm this guy that, it's like, okay, well, everything I make for the next 10 years wouldn't solve my problem, even if I spent money on nothing but solving the problem. I'm this guy that has, I have to pay lawyers and things, and I should be contacting lawyers and starting lawsuits and things like that. That's my problem, And I mean, if this guy, he was some kind of a life coach, I guess, but I mean, he'd have to be a famous life coach to help me out. And I mean, that's one of those things. But part of the problem here is that this guy, he just said, contact so-and-so, or get a hold of so-and-so. And it's like, how about you say, you might be able to solve your problem if you talk to this person. I hear that this is how you would get a hold of them. Don't tell me what to do. That's not advice. Tell me why I should do a thing. Like, I remember, and this was probably pretty rude of me, I once encouraged a reasonably famous person to, get together with their friends and finance a movie. And they were just so opposed to this idea that they wouldn't even hear me out. They wouldn't, start like a GoFundMe. And it's like, yeah, I don't do that sort of thing. Well, I mean, do you have a Patreon? It's the same thing. You're out here on YouTube. They're a famous YouTuber. And I had met them in person. I did kind of know them. And it's just one of those basic facts. I have an itch on my back, my lower back here. I have got to scratch that if I'm going to finish this video. Oh yes, much better. Okay, now that I've done that, and it's like, yes, could I have gotten, if they were willing to entertain the idea, could I have gotten this person together and had a crowd-funded film? Yeah. Okay. Is that what they want? I don't know. I mean, they're in the, no, I'm not gonna fund this myself, and I'm not gonna ask for my fans to help. And I mean, one of her close friends has an OnlyFans, and is basically a very sexually open person. And at the time, I don't think there were any photographs of them running around nude. So you could have basically come up with a thing. It's like, okay, this person who has already got nudes, already willing to basically do pornography. Oh dear. Again, sorry about that. It's I don't even know if you guys can hear that ruckus in the other room, but it's something that every now and again it requires some intelligent intervention. And it will otherwise ruin the video. So anyway, as I say, yeah, we could have found some people to get together and say, give us $1 million and this chick will show her tatas in a film. Not the woman I was talking to, but her friend, who is basically a porn star at this point. And I mean, you know, like, yeah, she does, like these group of porn stars that this chick knows, they do kind of, you know, every now and again, nudes, legitimate nudes of theirs will show up. And I think they will get their lawyer to take them down or something. So, it's not beyond the realm of possibility. But again, it's like, who am I to suggest that? It's just one of those things. But I mean, I tell you, this girl, she just could have gone out there and worn a bikini in a film, and that would have been enough. You know, not even like a thong bikini, just a bikini. And probably would have been able to draw $1 million to make a film, which we could have made pretty easily. It's just one of those things. You know, but again, that was my advice, and who am I? Part of it is, if you're going to give somebody advice, you should try to explain it properly. It's like the people that say, well, you should just change your diet. Yeah, no, I mean, my problem is psychological. My issue is I stress eat. You know, I mean, it's, as I say, I remember through no change in diet, I was losing weight left and right. And I mean, I think I eventually lost a total of 45 pounds without dieting, just because I didn't feel bad all the time. And that's just one of those things. So you could say, well, I mean, yeah, okay, probably a better diet would be helpful for me. But to be completely honest with you, there are commonly days where I just don't get my calories in. It takes about 6,000 calories to support a body this big in a healthy human. I think it takes around 3,000 to support well, my numbers could be off. But 3,000 to support a completely sedentary lifestyle when you're me. I mean, if I were active, 6,000, but completely inactive, the way like I do nothing but sit around all day. Yeah, I mean, if I get to the point where I'm working out, it's not uncommon for me to hit a 1,000-calorie workout, because, you know, I used to go to the gym and pump iron and you know, do laps in the pool, and I'd be there for hours. I enjoyed the gym, but I never made any gains, and I wore out my skin. So, you know, I think it's in that range. My numbers could be off, though. I don't remember how I got to that number. I remember it was some expert gave it to me. But there's the thing. You know, when you're my size, it does take a reasonable amount of calories, but it's not hard to get those calories. I mean, one meal at McDonald's is easily 1,500 calories. Costco sells a cookie at their food cart that's more than 700 calories. Not hard to stay fat with those things around, is it? But, you know, I remember there was a point where it was really hard for me to maintain my weight just because I was happy. I wasn't eating healthy or healthier than normal. I was just happy. And that really made a difference. So you could tell me to change my diet all I want. I mean, it's like, yeah, you could lock me in a room with nothing but vitamins and water, and I mean, my body just has to burn calories at some point, so I could lose the weight. But second you put me in a regular environment, stress eating will make me eat more, and my depression will make my metabolism low. And it's just, that's how my life is. So, you know, people give me this advice, and it's annoying. And then well, people say, well, I mean, okay, you have a $500,000 problem. That must be a debt. So if it's like, look, guys, no, it's not a debt. It's I have to have the money to buy this. No lawyer is going to give me a pro bono on some of the things that I have to deal with. And my current lawyer, I mean, I'm racking up the fees, but they're basically going, whenever we have time, we work on your case. It's to fill in the time that we otherwise don't have. Paying customers come first. You're not really giving us a lot of money, so you're a low priority, And there's that thing. If I walked in there and I handed them, however many tens of thousands of dollars it would take to run this case, they're okay, now you're a priority again, and we're working on your case so many hours every week. That's how this stuff works. People who can pay up front get the priority. And I will actually point out here that the longer this case runs, most likely the more money I lose. So it's not a good thing. I mean, I don't know if that's true. There are a lot of decisions that need to be made, and there are a lot of things that need to be done, and there are a lot of reports that need to be run, and they're still working on running those reports. So, but that's that thing, is like, yes, if you have some way for me to get a better job, to make money, to make my YouTube channel profitable, that's something I can do. But if those things aren't going to happen, I mean, my problem isn't I eat too much. My problem is I'm under stress. My problem isn't I'm in debt. My problem is I can't afford this thing. That's the life I live. And understanding my problems, they tend to be complicated and difficult. And you might even look at, like, my house is something of a mess. And you might say, it's easy, just start cleaning up. Yeah, but I've got other priorities. And, the house being a mess, yeah, it's something I'm working on. And, it's a slow process for me because I'm depressed and I spend too much time in bed. And my major priority is trying to get my YouTube channel together. And, it's just one of those things, is you could say, okay, wake up in the morning, make however many videos would be necessary for that day, then spend the rest of the day cleaning. It's not that hard. Yeah, I mean, except for the fact that I would do all that and then I'd remember how terrible my life is, be depressed, and go to sleep. It's just, that's my life, There are no easy answers. If you own a company and you can give me a better job, okay, I'll do that better job. But then I'm taking time away from working on other stuff. So is it going to help? I don't know. It's the complication of the human that itches back. Is this a bug bite or an itch? I don't have any other bug bites. Just hate it when you get that itch in the small of your back. Anyway, as I say, I hate people who love to give you advice, yet I'm one of those people who loves to give people advice. It's one of the worser parts of my nature. Now, I'm going to grant you, I've given people advice that changed their lives. I've had a couple of friends who I recommended a joint complex to, and they were in pain before the joint complex. Then they took the joint complex, and their life was better. And I mean, I remember I had one friend, and I think I argued with him for a week over it. And then I finally decided, okay, he's not interested. I'm going to stop arguing with him. Then he talks to his doctor. The doctor says, yeah, you should have a joint complex. And then he's taken a joint complex. Okay, wouldn't listen to me, but listen to that person. That's fine. I don't care. And there was even one time at the gym, I told somebody, hey, you're working out wrong. Let me show you something. And I showed him something. He said, wow, that's a huge difference. Yeah. And somewhere there's a video, I think it's even on this channel, where I talk about I was 300 pounds at the time. And I had a friend who was suffering from potassium deficiency, and I walked him through the nutrition that he should have gone through to better his potassium deficiency. And then, a couple weeks later, he said, yeah, I feel so much better now. And then a couple years, 10 years after the fact, he actually contacted me and said, I'm still following your advice and I still feel great. Conversation with a 300-pound man about health, and it changed his life. So, point one, don't think that a solution is simple just because you see a simple solution. And point two, if you're going to give advice, try to be polite about it. Unlike that airplane that's interrupting my video. I'm Richard. Hey, Astro, did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Yeah, Nance, I heard the food was good, but it had no atmosphere. Now that was a corny joke, but you know what isn't a joke? A clean environment. And this channel will buy one of these bracelets I'm holding from 4Ocean for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. So you should comment, like, and subscribe. Support us so we can support a better world.